A woman with an imaginary lover drives her to the brink of insanity. This is Bone Chilling Chronicles with Bobby. I have a friend from work, both of us elementary school teachers, sort of a mentor-mentee relationship, kind of like a sister to me. We became pretty close in the last 2 years. She just purchased an apartment in Bucharest, Romania, about 8 months back. She is the kind of chronically single girl because she has terrible taste in men. So she decided to be single until someone nice comes along. Anyway, she has this weird little ritual where she imagined someone was spooning her every night until she fell asleep. This is the feeling became much more intense, maybe some sort of lucid dreaming where she actually felt in a tactile way someone was holding her. As I said, she is chronically single, and she confessed to me she imagined more than holding a couple of times, and it actually led to, let's call it, release of stress. Anyway, she started experiencing the tactile feeling outside of her home. Maybe a hand on the shoulder, someone playing with her hair, getting sleepy all the time and feeling the hugs. She started calling him Geigel, which is a name which in Romanian is pretty much a joke. The name of someone who is low educated and stupid and does a pretty bad job at everything. In English, it would be right in the middle of being called Bubba or Billy Bob. Geigel brought her comfort. I thought it was just one of her quirks until we went to a field trip with our students. We visited some medieval monasteries and castles, and she told me for the first time she felt alone again when she was inside the church buildings, and that she felt extreme anxiety when visiting the medieval cemeteries, like something was telling her to leave. The same feeling was inside the castles as well. She is not big on religion, and after that field trip, she decided to explore a bit of her spirituality, so she visited some churches, mosques, and Judaic temples in Bucharest during the weekends, as well as the Belieu Cemetery. She experienced the same feeling of loneliness inside places of worship, no matter the denomination, and the same anxiety during their cemetery visit. After this, the presence, Geigel started getting stronger, almost like a dopamine rush. As the summer break came, she started sleeping more and more, almost like being drugged and drowning in bliss. When she realized she hadn't eaten for 3 days at one point, she got scared and took a trip to her parents. But Geigel was there, drowning her in a feeling of being warm and cozy. She even came to visit me and my wife for 2 days, and we haven't seen or heard her leave the guest room, not even to go to the bathroom. She came and left with a goofy smile on her face, and we could tell she was mentally pretty far away. Last week, I visited her in her apartment, which was weirdly hot, which is not a temperature any mid-building northern-facing apartment would ever have, even in a heat wave. She lost a lot of weight since I saw her and is very pale. And this time she asked me for help. She is convinced Geigel is real, a spirit maybe. So I called both an Orthodox priest on Tuesday and a Catholic one on Thursday, and they did something we call baptism of the house, a blessing, and this didn't work at all. So on Sunday, I took her in with some luggage and moved her in with me and my wife, forced her to drink water and eat something, get her on a walk and see a movie with us. But during the night, when I got up to drink a glass of water, I heard her talking in her room. She was addressing Geigel, and it felt like it was a flowing conversation, like he asked her questions, and she answered, talking about love, marriage, some philosophical topics. It was shocking for me because it actually felt like a real conversation with a person I couldn't hear. Yesterday, we confronted her about this, and she just laughed it off. saying it is part of her ritual, and she just changed the subject when we wanted to talk about Geigel. Also yesterday, 3 of our LED light bulbs went out, and I had one of my ferrocacti collapse into a sludge like it had an infection. And last night, both me and my wife had troubled sleep with lots of nightmares, and it felt like we were suffocating with heat. Like those fever dreams where you talk with people and can't stop speaking to them. This morning, my friend packed her bags and left back to her apartment before we got up. Imagine how scared we got. At least she answered her phone when we called her to let us know she is fine. A couple days later, I took her to the hospital and decided to keep her for the night. Blood tests should be ready by tomorrow. They said she looks pretty rough, so she is kept on IVs, fluids, and vitamins. Talk to the doctors, and she will get a psychiatric exam as well. Although I am starting to think this entity is real and not some figment of her imagination, although it appears to be making her really sick. While on the Uber, she confided that Geigel is scared of losing her. Maybe this has something to do with the church and cemetery weirdness. She asked me to take her home a couple of times, but I refused, and as soon as we got past the hospital gate, she said it was finally quiet. We are talking about the Floresca Hospital, best emergency hospital in town. This is in contrast with entering churches when she could still feel Geigel in some distant way. Now it appears it is quiet. The nurses told me that as soon as she got in bed, she fell asleep and is snoring like crazy, so I would call that a win for today. While waiting in the ER, my friend admitted she is scared of it and what it does to her, and that she doesn't want it around anymore. I also gave her a small pendant cross to keep around the neck and 2 Ziploc bags, one with church incense and one with salt. I hope that works and it's just not something movies made up. I had her put me in as her medical contact, so I will get all the info. Until I come back with a further update, please let me know what rituals, substances, or plants can be used, or how, just to be on the safe side, in case the medical attention does not work.